It's the day before the winter solstice, or a couple days before. It's December 21st. And we're supposed to have temperatures in the 40s the next few days. So what I did yesterday is I moved out all these colonies, these hives that were in here. See, now there's nothing in here but the hives in the windows. And I'm trying to take advantage of this fairly warm weather. Whoa, here, I just made a mistake there. The bees are coming out and they're doing cleansing flights. I'm fairly confident that I'm going to have no losses this coming winter. Your winter's just about ready to get started. And I'm taking advantage of this weather and I'm cleaning out the bottoms of these hives here. Getting the dead bees out, trying to help the bees remove the dead because they start to stink and it's not really a healthy situation. I did this one already. And when I'm doing this, I know how much honey's left in the hive. And I do have frames of honey left over. If I had to add honey, I could add honey. What I do is, kind of hard to do this by myself, but take this lid, I put this right here, and then I will take this deep, I will quickly set it on here. And I started with a clean bottom board and a clean bottom screen, and I set this one on that one, and then I clean the bottom board and bottom screen on this hive, and that one goes to this one. So anyway, I take this deep, I set it here, and I pick this deep up, and I set it on here, and then I set this deep, the top one, back on the bottom one. I don't take the screen off. I do, after I'm done, when they're inside, I flip it over so the hole's above the screen. And then when I'm done, I will knock the bees off and I'll flip it back over because the next few days are going to be in the 40s and I want them to make sure they don't go up here on top of the screen and freeze during the night when it's cold. I want them to go back into the cluster. So anyway, I'm going to try to do all these, as many as I can today. Whatever I don't finish today, I'll do tomorrow. And then I could do a Monday. Monday's supposed to be 40s too. And then I do the outsides first because I can do the inside when it's a little colder. And these bees fly out of the hives and they know where their hive is. So when I do these on the inside, I can set them here on a table and I go ahead and I brush them off the doors just before I put the hive back, and they will fly back into the hive. I don't have to go through the hassle of gathering them all up, getting them in the hive. So I'm very lucky to have this situation with the weather cooperating. The Formic Pro, if you see my videos, the Formic Pro didn't work last September. Not April. They tried to tell me I had a reinfestation, but you don't get a reinfestation that badly in a matter of 2 weeks. I used their product. During the temperature specifications, they tell you Michigan's hot during the summer, just like most of the other states up north. They get hot, and then it cools off real quick. So as soon as it couldn't get hot again, I went ahead and I used that formic acid. And when I got done with it, I do the double 10, basically 3 weeks. And when I got done September 20th, we had a couple of weeks that were warm enough yet for the mites to be out and around on stuff. But the amount of mice I had in the hives, and a lot of the hives had new clean bottom boards after the formic acid was already done, a couple weeks after. And then I checked my bees for Varroa mites, looking through the screens here. See, I can look at bees. I can look at several. Sometimes the colonies are big enough. You can look at several hundred at a time. And I counted one mite for every 100 bees. And this was a month after I did the formic acid. Like end of November, or end of October, early November. Then I realized I had a problem and I still had a chance to get the oxalic acid vaporizer. And I did that in November. And I saved my colonies. If I had done nothing, I would have lost half my colonies right now. But I saved them. And of course, sick bees will be sick for a couple of weeks before they die, I think. I'm not really sure on that. But anyway, I had dead bees after I did the oxalic acid for a while. But they've leveled off. I'm not getting as many as I had before. That's why I'm predicting no losses of my colonies this winter. And this is the time of year where the sun is really low, and I planted these trees 25, 26 years ago when they were little. And I don't know, I would like to have them not so tall, but if I cut them, I get all the crap from farmers' fields blowing in here. But right now the sun, it's 12 o'clock right now, or a little after. That's as high as the sun's gonna get this weekend. And they're not getting much sun here. They're getting sun here, and that brings them out. And I paint my hives a dark color, so the sun hits this, it warms up the hive, they come up flying around. If they want to get warmed up, they can land on that, and they get warmed up and they can make it back into the hive. You see these commercial beekeepers, they're putting their hives out in the almond orchards in California when it's cold and wet. They're putting them on the ground. The bees fly low, and they get chilled. They don't make it back into the hive. And a lot of them are light-colored hives or whatever. But up here in the north, I paint all my hives dark brown. And when I put them out different places to make honey, I make sure they have morning sunshine and afternoon shade. So I will put them on the east side of the woods just to make sure they don't get too hot during the summer. So anyway, here's another video. Just thought you ought to know what I'm doing.